extra, read all about it. Get your copies while they last. Stop the presses.
And now for something completely different.
Are you ready for a little truth? Are we not entertained? Wisdom is the proper use of knowledge and experience. There are no safe spaces here. The truth shall make you free. It's showtime! So you want the truth, but can you handle the truth? Well, here's another fine mess you've gotten us into. Now that's entertainment. Enlighten me a little. What you say is quite logical. And what did we learn? Prepare yourself for a little sensory overload. I came here for the truth. 47 years ago, stand by the roll show intro. Roll show intro in 3, 2, 1, go.
This is the Craig L. Hayes Show.
Hello, America, family, friends, and listeners all around this planet we call home. This is the Craig L. Hayes Show. I am Craig L. Hayes. And June 11th, 2025. And this is one of the episodes of 4 or 5 I'm going to do today on just topics I've written down on things I want to talk about. And today is one that has to be taken very seriously. A lot of the stuff we talk about on the show is serious. On my monologues are always serious. I love doing the interviews with people. I love talking show business. I love listening to the stories. That is just an amazing thing to be able to talk show business, or as we'd call it, talk shop with fellow stagehands and fellow people who have been in the business forever and ever and ever. I find that just enthralling. I love doing that. But I also like talking politics. I also like talking about current events. Current events are very important. And boy, is there a lot of current events going on right now. There is so much happening. There is so many things going on. But right now, I think I want to talk about this. We keep hearing about this Iranian nuclear deal. The Iranian nuclear deal. I am so concerned about that. I am worried that the years of us not bringing Iran to their knees and destroying their ability is going to be brought, the ramifications are going to be brought to us very soon. Just so you understand, Iran, for everything they keep on saying, yeah, we're following the laws, we're following the rules, we're not going to take and do stuff. But the IAEA, the International Atomic Energy Agency, by the UN, came out and told us that Iran has enough uranium that's been purified to 60-70%, that it only takes a short time. You need 90%. You need 90% purified, or whatever you want to call that thing, to bring it to the 90%. That's 60%. Getting it to 60% from 0% grade, a grade of 0 to 60%, is a lot of effort, a lot of energy, a lot of work to get it there. But once it hits 60%, the threshold is done. Taking it from 60 to weapons grade 90% or above takes weeks. It may have taken them years to get it up to 60%. They don't have the facilities like we have that we can take and turn bombs out by the whatever, how many you want to call it. But they have now got to the point where they have almost 1,000 pounds. 1,000 pounds of enriched uranium in order to make a bomb. That's enough bomb-making material to make up at least 6 to 10 bombs. And they can have it enriched to 90% weapons grade within a few weeks. Do they have the delivery system to get to deliver that weaponry, the ICBM, Intercontinental Ballistic Missile? Do they have the capability and the expertise to get it to Israel? Well, Israel's only a short hop and skip and a jump away from Iran in that neck of the woods. Getting it over here to the U.S., firing a missile off that's going to make it here to the U.S., a little tougher. That's a long throw over to here. That's about a 45-minute flight over to here. And they're not going to spend all 10 of them on us. They're going to send a couple to Israel and the rest to us. China and Russia are helping them develop their ICBM technologies. And we're looking for a piece of paper. President Trump wants a deal. A deal. We keep on looking at deals. He wants to make deals with people. I get it. He's a deal maker. I have two thoughts on that. One, I hope he does not become Neville Chamberlain and believe that a piece of paper signed by, a death cult leader like the Ayatollah over there has any impact, has any value at all, any value. It doesn't. They have been doing, under all these terms and agreements and everything like that, not to be a nuclear nation, they have continued to do it. Thank you, Obama. Thank you, Joe Biden. Here's the problem. What communist President Barack Obama, an Islamist, he's an Islamist and a communist, and what senile, old man, brain dead, incompetent, incoherent, and incontinent Joe Biden did to this country, we will face the ramifications in the next year. And something will have to be done with Iran. Those two Democrat presidents allowed them to keep building and weaponized, grade, whatever, developing their nuclear weapons. And then their first term, Trump tried to shut that all down by really punishing financially. It did, and Biden comes in and he just allows the door to go open again, and away they go. Which just shows you Democrats hate this country. They would rather arm with nuclear weapons a nation like Iran, who is a death cult. Islam is a death cult, okay? Let's not play the dance around this very easy, okay? Islam, the true believers, the hardcore believers of Islam, it is a death cult. They want to see the world go up in flames so it'll bring back the 12th Amman. We believe in Jesus Christ coming back to save mankind. They want to see the world being drenched in blood and fire to bring back their leader or their prophet or their God or whatever. I have no idea what these people believe in, but it's a cult of death. Do you understand that the policies between us and other nations that have nuclear weapons like Russia and China, Britain, all these other countries, We never used these weapons on each other because we don't have a death cult. We don't believe in killing everybody for some purpose. And the scariest part is when they want to kill everybody over a religious belief. That's how scary these people are. So, we are at that point where something has to be done. And if something isn't done, and Iran says we have nuclear bombs, and we have a couple of nuclear bombs, and we have a couple of nuclear missiles, and we're going to use them on Israel and the great Satan America. Remember, we're the great Satan. Israel is the little Satan as far as they're concerned. But they're the ones that want to blow the world up in fire and blood and stuff like that. But the nations that believe in democracy and believe in people's rights and want to live, that's Satan. That's how mentally warped they are. You'd think they're Democrats in a lot of ways. Because the Democrat Party is a death cult also. The day that Iran announces they have a nuclear weapon, Saudi Arabia will want a lot of those from us. Because Saudi Arabia and Iran do not get along. They're both Islamic, but one is Sunni and one is Shia. And they don't get along. Kind of like back in the old days, Catholics and Protestants didn't really get along very well. Went to war with each other a lot, killed each other off a lot. And in some parts of the world, Ireland, still doing it. Jordan will want nuclear weapons. Egypt probably will want some too. Right now, the only one that I can pretty well be sure that has nuclear weapons in that region are two. One is Islamic. That's Pakistan. Pakistan has an Islamic. They are Islamic and they have nuclear weapons. But their enemy is India right next door. And India has them. Those two don't like each other, and one day they're going to rock and roll, I'm pretty sure. But Pakistan, I don't think, is a religious cult of death like Iran is. They're not led by a mullah or an ayatollah or whatever. And Israel, 99.9% sure that Israel has a lot of nuclear weapons. You would have to have being surrounded by your enemy and not having anything to defend themselves with other than what we've helped them gather and a few things that maybe have fallen off the back of a CIA bus or truck or two or dozens. A deal. Not Adele. Don't see the big deal on her. Everyone's nuts about her. I don't know why. Anyway, Adele, a deal. President Trump wants a deal. Israel, I'm sure right now, wants to go hit Iran with everything they have in the middle of having a fight with Hamas and Hezbollah and over in Lebanon and Syria. I'm sure Israel is like, we've got to go hit Iran before they get this stuff put together in a package that can be delivered and harm us. But President Trump wants a deal, a piece of paper. And from everything I can tell on that deal, it has nothing to do with stopping the development of ICBMs. So we can tell them you're not allowed to have any nuclear fusion materials or anything like that. But if you want to develop ICBMs, go for it. What? Say that again. If this is true, this is a major faux pas, error, mistake on Trump's behalf. It is allowing a Nazi, an Islamo-Nazi regime to keep growing on a promise that's placed on a paper. They will not comply with. Did Hitler comply with what was agreed to by England and him? Neville Chamberlain, remember him? Neville Chamberlain came back and thought everything was great. Him and Hitler had this piece of paper they signed and said we're not going to fight each other. It's a non-aggression, and we're not going to fight. Yep, here's my signature. And I can't remember how short a time that Hitler went in and kept on invading countries and taking over. And finally, Neville Chamberlain looked like the total idiot that he was and allowed that to happen. World War II happened. What, 50, 60, 80, 100 million people died because of a piece of paper. This will not be a long war. Does everybody understand something very simply? I've heard people go, oh man, not another long protracted war. No, no, no. Put that out of your mind right now. This will not be a long protracted war if something happens with Iran. This will not be Iran shoots off a couple missiles and we invade them. They launch off a couple missiles at us and at Israel. It'll take probably 10 to 15 minutes for it to hit Israel. It'll take 45 minutes to hit somewhere in the United States. And then we retaliate on Iran and wipe them off the planet. This war will last 1 hour, maybe 2. And it's all over. We do not need a deal. We do not need a piece of paper. We do not need something that will not be followed by liars like the Ayatollah and the mullahs and stuff. We're at the point that we need action. So here's my thought. Maybe what we're seeing is some good cop, bad cop stuff going on right now. Israel wants to hit Iran and take care of the problem. Trump is saying, no, let's make a deal with them. We playing good cop, bad cop while we put assets in place so we can get in there and just wipe out their ability to do anything. We go in, first take out their air defense capabilities, and then Israel comes in and they take out even more stuff. They hit a bunch of these places where it's being developed, and then we throw in our B-2s, B-1s, B-52s, and we drop everything and anything we can on these facilities that have been weaponizing the uranium, getting it to weapons grade. Is that what's on our future coming up here in the next 3 months, 6 months, a year? Because if we don't do something, something will be done to us. Iran is not joking that they're going to use these weapons when they get them. Did we not learn anything from anybody in history? If someone is telling you what they're going to do, and as crazy as they seem and they sound like they're insane, I would believe them. Nobody believed Hitler. Nobody would take him serious when he said he was going to take and kill every Jew he could find and take back as much of Europe and do all these things. Everyone wrote him off as a crackpot, but he did everything he said he was going to do. Iran says they want to wipe off Israel off the face of the map and they want to destroy the great Satan, or America. If they have nuclear weapons, they have the opportunity to do that. They know what's going to happen back at them. If they were to release a chemical, or a nuclear weapon on America, they know their country will be wiped off the planet. They'll be gone. They're counting on it. See, this is the insanity. They're counting on it. They want to see that big ball of fire everywhere and the blood and the destruction, because that brings to the conclusion some of the parts of their religion. Islam is not a religion of peace. It is a death cult. It is a violent, pro-violent, promotes violence to its end. I can only hope that Trump is trying to make the deal, and my thought is maybe he wants them to sign a deal and adhere to some parts of something or do something, and then when they violate, then it's like, okay, well, we tried. Let's bomb them into the Stone Age, which was, a couple years ago. I feel sorry for the Iranian people. These mullahs, the Ayatollah, all these people are going to cause the death of millions and millions of Iranians. Because we will have no choice. If they were to hit, let's just say Iran launches one and it hits any city in this country, Chicago or anything, hits Detroit, hits any of these places, a nuclear bomb hitting, Detroit or Chicago or any other Democrat-run city could cause millions and millions of dollars of destruction, sorry. I cracked myself up. But we will retaliate. They may have 10 nuclear weapons. We have thousands. Who's going to win this one? Nobody. Nobody wins in a nuclear exchange. Whether it's 10 missiles or whether it's 1,000, nobody wins. Anyways, I have real concerns about this so-called deal. I don't like what I'm hearing, but it may be that they're playing good cop, bad cop, and they're trying to give every opportunity to Iran to put down their stupid ideology and their belief system and come into the world's nations of the world and become normal human beings instead of the crackpots that they are. And that would give them the opportunity to not have their nation destroyed and wiped off the planet. But it's up to them. Anyhow, there's my thoughts on that. And there's a couple things that I could go on more about, but I think I'd just be repeating myself too many times. And we don't need to be repeating ourselves over and over and over again on the same subject matter. There's talk shows on there's already too many talk shows that do that all day long. One subject matter, they talk for 3 hours on it. It's not going to be me. I have a 25 to 30 minute show, and that's what I'm going to give you. And that's what I've given you. It's about 25 minutes, 26 minutes right now. So, folks, that's the end of that song. That's the end of this show. And all we can say is we're going to be coming back with one more episode, I think. I got one more episode in me today. And we'll go from there. So until then, Talbot, take it away.
This is the Craig L. Hayes Show.